So, today we're going to talk about manifestation and abundance. My name is Alana Belanger, and I am a psychic therapist. I have my master's degree in clinical behavioral health and addictions counseling. I'm also a certified psychic and energy healer, a certified core transformation coach, and I'm all about the business of helping people transform their realities and transform their lives through the process of deliberate conscious creation. That's what we're talking about today. We're going to go over what manifestation is, how to consciously create, how to consciously manifest. We'll talk about some instances where might feel like manifestation is going wrong for you and how to troubleshoot, what to do there. And then we'll end with the frequency activation, the Abundance Now meditation, where you'll listen to a guided meditation, and I'll be holding and supporting the energy and the frequency to align to abundance. So that'll teach your nervous system and your subconscious mind what it feels like to be abundant. That way you can attune to that at any time and continue to have more and more feelings of abundance. Amazing. So I have these two quotes to explain in the simplest terms is what manifestation is. From Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh, all you see in the world is the outcome of your ideas about it. And from the fictional book, The Art of Racing in the Rain, what you manifest is what is before you. I'm going to go into a deeper dive and we'll talk about physics and how all of this is supported by science. But essentially, these two quotes perfectly capture manifestation because manifestation is the process of creating reality. What you manifest is what is before you. Everything that you're experiencing right now in this moment in time is what you're manifesting. That is the creation process. And all that you see in the world, all that is happening in your reality, is the outcome of your ideas about it. You are consciously creating, or perhaps unconsciously creating through your beliefs and perceptions, your own reality. Let's talk a little bit about manifestation and what it is. Like I mentioned, it is the creation process of generating reality from possibility. Manifestation is not magic, it's not positive thinking, it's your energetic alignment. So here we are, just a few minutes into the presentation, and we're going to go talk about something really juicy. I'm about to reveal the secret of the universe. Yes, I did say it was juicy. So, the secret of the universe is that we are all one. Maybe you've heard this before, and what that means is that we are all part of the same source. You can call it whatever you like, whatever feels comfortable for you: God, source, creation, the universe, creator. From the moment of creation, everything was one source. It was all just consciousness. And then at some point in time, consciousness decided to create the miracle of life. And that occurred through the Big Bang. And the creation of reality is sometimes referred to, or as it exists, is non-duality. So, why is it called non-duality? Well, because in order to have separation, there had to be opposites. You can't have light if you don't have dark. You can't experience cold if you don't experience hot. But how was creation going to experience these things if creation was all just one thing? There had to be some form of separation. So that's where the term of duality comes into. It's polarization of being able to hold opposite things so that you can experience both. However, it's called non-duality because it's an illusion. You can't actually separate something that's whole. Consciousness didn't want to do that. So instead, what consciousness was able to do is to focus attention instead of being fully conscious of everything, everywhere, all at once, and full of creation, to have focused concentration on one specific place at one specific time. And that's what we're experiencing. in our own world and our own lives. We're only aware of ourselves in this moment in time throughout our entire life until we go on to other things. So that's the concept of non-duality and focused consciousness. We're still part of the same whole, and we're all still God, having different experiences and getting to experience what it's like to be God in this experience in all these unique, amazing, incredible ways that are infinite. There's infinite potentials. There's millions upon millions of people on this planet, let alone millions upon billions of universes and realities. So the entire universe is infinite. And what's even more infinite than what is currently existing in this moment in time of now is all the possibilities. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to talk a little bit about quantum physics. So atoms are the building blocks of reality. And the double slit particle experiment showed that atoms exist in two forms, both as possibility, as the wave, and as manifested reality, as the particle. So all of space represents the state of the atom as a wave. It's waves of possibility. So even though it's empty, we find out that space is actually not so empty. It's full of possibility, just in constant random movement. And what do I mean when I say waves of possibility? Well, what the particle slit experiment determined is that electrons are moving everywhere. It's impossible to determine what state they're in because they're in constant movement. The electron is in all possible locations at once. That's that waves of possibility. It's in all potential locations that it could be. This is called superposition. But the behavior of the atoms changes based on consciousness or measuring device observing reality. This is what happened in the double slit particle experiment. They found that when they sent the particles through slits in the wall, the particle would behave both as a particle and a wave. So the moment that something's trying to measure or consciousness is trying to define where this electron is located, that's when that wave of probability collapses and the electron will appear in a single fixed location and point in time. So the wave function collapses into density, into physical matter, something that can be measured and localized. That possibility is manifested into reality. And that is what manifestation is. It's the collapsing of the wave function and possibilities into physical reality and what you're experiencing. Our material world is created again and again before our eyes in each instance that we perceive it. Our reality is emerging from our observation, our consciousness of our perception, our thoughts, our feelings, our expectations, and our beliefs about our inner and outer experience. So I'm going to share my screen again and show you an image of what it looks like to have quantum fluctuations in a vacuum. Okay, so this is what it looks like in empty space. It's not so empty. This is all of possibility moving across all of time and space. So now I'm going to show you another video, and this explains how the consciousness and our observation is manifesting reality because our thoughts and our feelings are generating a frequency. And through that frequency, matter, the waves collapse and organize into patterns, which we experience. So this is showing sand on a resonant plate and it's reacting to different frequencies and vibrations that's organizing the sand into patterns. Isn't that cool? So, what you think and how you feel because of your thoughts and what manifests in your experience always match. That's from Abraham Hicks. We're not as solid particles as we think we are. If you think about an ocean and there's waves in the ocean and the water represents reality. That's all of the possible space, that's all of the possible locations, anything that could happen, all possibilities of existence. And whenever there's a ripple or a wave in the ocean, the water molecules, the mass of the water actually isn't moving. It's the energy and frequency that's what we're perceiving when we see that ripple or the wave across the ocean. We're watching energy create the shape of the water and seeing that information travel to the shore. But the water molecules don't follow that wave all the way to the shore. They just oscillate in the same space that they're in. They move up and they move down and they come right back to the same place. So, what we are as human beings, we're not solid objects. We're actually a complex vibration within an infinite ocean of reality. There's that concept of non duality. We're not separate fundamentally from anything else. The electrons that make up Alana, me, are no different than the electrons that make up a mountain. There's not specific mountain electrons and specific Alana electrons. It's all the same electrons. We're all just ripples in the fabric of the universe. We're all just ripples in the same ocean. So, what's actually happening as possibilities are collapsing is that everything is occurring in this moment of now. And we're forming this moment of now through our individual consciousness. All of the energy and information is what's moving, not physical material. It's just the experience that's being captured in this moment in time that we're experiencing. And we're having a physical experience in this moment that's being generated from now to now to now to now to now. Our thoughts and our feelings are manifesting this reality. So, as we are a point of focused consciousness, observing reality and activating the potential within the one shared infinite field. In this ocean of energy, through our individualized focused consciousness, we're collapsing possibilities moment by moment. And that is exactly how life works. That's how reality works. So it's really exciting. And I'm going to share, I had AI create a really beautiful graphic to explain this. So I wanted to understand this. I looked it up. What you're about to see is partially my conveying, partially it's the way that I put all these pieces of information together. But I want you to know I didn't make any of this up. This is my beautiful, beautiful artwork from AI. I'm totally kidding. I drew it myself. Yes. So this is how I conceptualized everything that we just talked about and reality being created. Thank you. I'm so glad that you thought that was funny. I was cracking up last night as I made this art. Said I'm going to tease everyone and say it's beautiful because I did have AI create some art, and it is pretty. It doesn't look like this. But this is a helpful graphic to show how in each moment we're creating our reality. So this is you. Yes, you are so beautiful. You're absolutely gorgeous in the stick figure shape. And here's your electromagnetic field. Also, can you see my mouse in the way that I'm sharing the screen? So that way it's kind of like it's acting like a laser pointer. Okay, thank you for verifying that. So this is your electromagnetic field, and this is the moment of now that you're creating moment by moment. So I looked up what electromagnetic fields are. I tried to understand what an electric field is, what a field is, and it's pretty incredible, really. It explains everything so perfectly. So if you look up what a field is, it's a region of space where energy has a value at every point. It's all possibilities. And it's not a field can be a specific region of space. However, within the fields, there's more and more fields. We're still connected through even a specific region of space to all of space, which means that through one field, you're still connected to all of possibility, even within that one region of space. It's not separate from, there's only certain possibilities that exist here. So this green line represents the field, the full complete quantum field of all possibilities that we're all connected to. So then this is your smaller electromagnetic field. So your thoughts are electrical impulses. And whenever you have a charge, an electrical charge, which is one particle moving from one place in, one location in space to another, that creates an electrical current. And whenever there's an electrical current, it creates a magnetic field. So I'll explain this all, and if it doesn't make sense to you, it really doesn't matter. You can understand, you don't need to understand how electricity works to be able to flip a switch and plug in appliances. So please don't get overwhelmed. And if this doesn't make sense, it was just very helpful for me to understand in more concrete terms, along with science, so I understand that it's not just magic. This is something that's very real and it's very concrete. I just want to share, like, don't worry at all if the science is kind of like, I don't get it. So once there's an electrical current, the magnetic field is created. And your thoughts are electric. That's what generates the potential. You can think of your thoughts as containing the blueprint of possibility, right? That's what imagination is. It's dreaming of all possibilities. So your thoughts are sending out an electrical impulse into the field. And within that electrical field, those charged particles sent from your thoughts are interacting and exchanging photons. So, what are photons? Photons are carriers of light and all the forms of electromagnetic radiation, and they exhibit both wave and particle-like properties. So, what does this mean? Well, we can only, in our physical experience, notice what's happening at the speed of light or less, or slower, or denser. And that only contains less than half of a percent of the full electromagnetic spectrum of reality. So these photons are everything that is non-physical, that we can't see, except for light. And so our impulses are thoughts, that electrical signal sending out all of the possibilities is informing all of the photons as those particles are interacting and exchanging. It's informing the blueprint of reality. Here's all the possibilities. Here's what could happen. So that's that. These yellow lines are photons. It's lights coming down from source. And then this blue line is the electric field where those charged particles are interacting and exchanging photons, creating the blueprint for what's possible. So then what brings out of all those potentials that are being created, how is it decided which one we experience? That's where the electromagnetic field comes in, the magnetism. That comes from your feelings. Your heart generates a massive electromagnetic field around your entire body. Our feelings are the attractors of the experience. So the magnetism is what chooses out of your mind, your thoughts creating all of the possibilities, which possibility is being drawn to you for you to experience. So that's where these red lines intersect with the blue line. It grabs the frequency of a certain possibility and it pulls it towards you, and that's what you experience. So the magnetic field is what directs and organizes the movement of charged particles. It exerts the forces that guides and or directs the interaction of those charged particles. So your electrical thoughts are saying which particles what interactions are possible. And then the magnetic field is choosing out of all of those possibilities, it's organizing the information. If you remember the video that we watched that showed the sand being organized into patterns based on frequency, that's what this is depicting. The first video you saw where everything was moving in quantum fluctuations within a vacuum, that's all of the possibility. And then the second video shows how that frequency is organizing the information and the particles to create an experience. So this is what's happening day by day, moment by moment in a scientific way. So if that wasn't interesting to you, don't worry. We're about to get into where it is interesting because we're going to talk about how that impacts you and how you can create reality to live the life that you want to live. So, first, within the first 5 minutes, we talked about the secret of the universe, which is we are all one. We are all God creating our own experience. And the second juicy bit we're talking about is the purpose of life, the meaning of existence. The meaning of existence is to experience life in all of its forms, to experience yourself as a part of the universe, your own unique, beautiful way of shining your light and experiencing the world, and then also experiencing the world. The world gets to experience you. It's co-creation. And in all of this, ourselves and the universe, we are continuously evolving. Life is expanding and moving, and we're continuing to pull different possibilities into manifested reality to see what it's like. And now we'll talk about how to manifest consciously. So, how do you choose? Because we are choosing whether we know it or not every moment what we experience. How can we more consciously do that? And the key to that is being present with your experience. Manifestation as a noun is the creation of your reality, and manifestation as a verb or an action is the consistent commitment to aligning your thoughts and feelings with your future self. That future self that's experiencing the reality that you want to experience, the things that you want to experience, the feelings, the joy. We're not victims of our reality. We're the creators of our experience. That's why learning all of this empowers us because we start to have the realization that we are creators and we're not victims. Our ego is the basis of what's our personality creating reality based on all of our experiences and things that have happened to us in our life. It shapes what we believe is possible or not. Our beliefs and our perceptions are what are creating our reality. And what is a belief? A belief is just a thought that you continue to think again and again. It's a vibrational point of attraction that you've practiced so often, it's dominant. It comes up easily and it comes up often. You believe it to be true. You assign value and meaning. So it's important to be present with your experience because having the ability to create reality starts with having an awareness of your creation process. And that means being aware of your thoughts and your feelings. And the world is a mirror because everything is conscious. Um, my guides told it to me one way. It's as if like no one wanted to be left out, right? Like if you were playing a game of dodgeball and you didn't get picked and you had to sit and watch, you might still enjoy watching, but it's more fun if everyone gets to play. So the entire universe is co-creating with you. It wants to play along with you. So what I mean when I say the world is a mirror is our experiences that we're having are constantly showing us how to refine our creation process to experience what we want. If you don't believe that you're worthy in some way, on one hand, in psychology, they talk about confirmation bias and that we seek out evidence to prove again and again what we believe. So if you believe you're not worthy, you're going to continue seeking evidence for that. And that is how manifestation and the law of attraction works, because like attracts like, which just means that your dominant energetic frequency, dominant meaning we can feel or think a lot of things at once. Maybe you felt both happy and sad at the same time. We're complex creatures. We can feel multiple things, but whatever is going to be the dominant energetic frequency of that. If you're feeling happier than you're feeling sad, then that would be your dominant frequency. So, like attracts like, whatever your dominant frequency is going to attract phenomena, experiences, vibrations that are the same frequency. So, that's where your dominant frequency is acting like a mirror. And if you think of it in more simpler terms, it just means that whatever you experience is manifested evidence of your belief and what you're feeling. So when you feel happy, you feel satisfied, you feel trust, the evidence of your belief is going to continue showing up in your experience. When you feel taken advantage of, when you feel weak, when you feel like a victim, the same thing. That's the law of attraction. So the point of this is that it helps us to identify what we're thinking and feeling because it's also what we're experiencing. It helps to create more presence with our experience. And so your emotions are telling you whether you're in alignment with the reality you want to create or if you're out of alignment with the reality you want to create. Abraham Hicks talks about it as the emotional GPS. If you're feeling happy and joyful, it's like that game of hot or cold. If you're experiencing these high vibration emotions, that's telling you that you're on the right track. You're doing the right things that are creating more joy. You're thinking and feeling in a way that are going to bring you more experiences that are in alignment with your future self. And then if you're feeling, if you're getting cold in your emotional GPS, if you're feeling doubt, if you're feeling insecure, jealousy, low vibration emotions, that's letting you know that there's resistance. There's some part of you, some subconscious level, that's not allowing something into your experience. Whether you believe that it's not possible, it's not for you, you're not worthy, this is helping you to understand where to look within your subconscious and find out where you can adjust to a new alignment. So I'm going to share that the pretty image. I mean, my artwork is beautiful. That stick figure was just gorgeous, but this is the AI created image that kind of helps to show a little bit about how we're creating our reality based on our programming. It's similar to my stick art drawing. So this is the light from source coming through our electromagnetic field and creating the experience, the projection of light. Basically, pure source energy comes through us, light, with all possibilities, but then our personal localized consciousness, me, Alana, directs what's possible or what's not. I have the free will to create my own reality. So within my reality, if there's something that I don't believe is possible, it's not going to show up for me. It's not going to be something that I can attract from the full field of possibilities. So each of our chakras are energy centers. They process the information and they apply their own filters to what we experience. So if you look in this drawing, you'll see some of the light that's being projected has little black spots. It's got holes. That's what I'm talking about if I say resistance. It's a resistance to reality. So when we're born, we don't we're not taught that we're all God and that we're creating our own experience. We're just trying to figure out reality as best as possible. And a lot of times, unfortunately, as we're growing up, we're told more often than not, or children are told more often than not what not to do and what they can't do more often than what you can. So over time, we create this programming, this sense of how do I stay safe in this world? What's possible? What's not possible? And what do I believe about myself? So if you've maybe ever had Reiki or energy healing and you've heard about energy blocks, that's what this is. It's where there's a rather than the light and possibility flowing through you, there's some resistance to something else happening. There's some resistance to possibility. So the light's always flowing through you, energy is always flowing through you, but there's certain areas where it's an incoherent signal, which just means it's not processing the information. So if you think about it in terms of our body and our nervous system, our body functions well when all systems are cooperating and there's a clear information exchange telling all the different organizations and systems what to do, what chemicals to release, how to respond, whether to switch into parasympathetic or sympathetic nervous response. And whenever those signals get crossed, or there's information that isn't, there's a block to it, it's not being processed or being exchanged, that's when we start to have systems shut down. So it's the same thing with our energetic field. Whenever there's some incoherent signals, it just means the information's not getting through. So it's not able to be created in our reality. But as our energy shifts, and our energy shifting in every moment, we're shifting through future potentials. We're continuing to send out those electrical impulses, and more potentials are being generated. So, what our goals are to consciously manifest is to notice where we have acceptance and where there's resistance. Anywhere that there's resistance, these little blocks, means that there's a part of you that's being rejected. And that's might not just mean you, like as in me, Alana. It could be part of my experience. Because there's no separation, if you reject part of reality, you're rejecting part of yourself. So resistant acceptance is the opposite of that. It's pure love. No matter what happens, I love it. No matter what happens, I love myself and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with experiencing anything because I'm secure and I'm creating my own reality. So, as we talked about, your thoughts are the blueprint of what you want, and then your feelings is the attraction, the magnetism that draws the event to you. So, how do you consciously manifest with your thoughts and feelings? Well, having an awareness of them and training your thoughts, because the ability to align to new possibilities is just by releasing the thoughts that create resistance. And as we start to release those thoughts or retrain our thinking's perspectives to shift to something that feels better, we feel better. And over time, we're going to be training our thoughts to higher frequencies. So much of our present experience is based on previous thought. If something hasn't happened for us yet, we're likely to think it's not going to happen. Or if we've tried really hard, or we've put ourselves out there and we've been vulnerable and it just resulted in getting hurt again and again and again, we're unlikely to think, well, if I try this in the future, something different's going to happen. That's where we have to align to new possibilities. Because the best choice in life that you can make is to be you, your authentic self, and whatever it is that you want to experience. So, manifestation is about what you feel now and what your focus is on. So, redirecting your thoughts and feelings by having the present awareness of what reality is now, starting with an objective look at what am I creating? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? And what am I doing? And then starting to look for the differences. Okay, so that's how things are now. And then how would I like things to be? Who do I want to be? And that's where you begin to change your thoughts, feelings, and actions to meet that grandest vision of yourself. And at some point, you'll reach the quantum tipping point, which is where your focus causes all of those photon particles and the potential to gather feelings and belief that it's possible. And by already feeling it, I already feel happy. Therefore, the evidence of me being happy is going to come, will collapse the wave and create the reality. This image shows high vibration and low vibration emotions. And emotions are energy and emotion, and they're charged. So the upward spiral of emotions, these are all things that have a positive vibration, and that's bringing your attention and your focus onto ease, abundance, and joy. And then the downward spiral of emotions, things like doubt, blame, anger, jealousy, insecurity, guilt, these are where your focus is on lack and being a victim. So, whatever you put out more of, wherever you put your focus, is where your energy goes. And where your energy goes is where reality is created. So if your focus is on, I don't have enough money, I have to pay all these bills, I'm really scared, I'm really worried, and that's what you're continuing to think and feel, then that's what's going to happen in your reality. So I have this slide that I created that describes the manifestation process. And it starts in the middle of it, it says claiming your power because we are creators of our experience, and that means we can claim our power at any point in this process. At any moment in time, you can turn from whatever is happening and feeling like I don't have control and I'm a victim of my circumstances and I just have to react to I get to choose. I get to choose to change, and it may not manifest right away. My external experience might not change right quickly. However, regardless of my external experience, I get to choose how I feel. I can generate happiness, I can generate ease, I can generate peace within myself, no matter what. So, what happens within the manifestation process, the first thing is having an awareness of desire. So, there's a sad face next to that because that could mean that something happens that you don't like. And it needs to happen that way so that we can understand what we like and what we don't like. Abraham Hicks talks about it as there's kind of a stick at two ends. So, as soon as there's in this physical experience, the stick, the end of the stick that says, I don't like this, in your vortex or the potential, unlimited potential of the field that we can draw in, there comes the opposite of the end of the stick. Hey, something really great. So within this awareness of desire, we first accept what is. Okay, this is happening. I don't like it. That's fine. So what do I want instead? That starts us with the aligning to the creation possibility. I have this new awareness of something. I'm not who I want to be in this situation. I want something else. What else is possible? How do I align to that? And then you start the alignment process. And there might be some trial and error because you may find that what you want to create isn't happening yet. So that brings us to the next stage of recognition of resistance. That's going inwards, finding out what subconscious blocks are happening. What am I doing? What do I keep going back to that's not allowing this experience? That's part of the surrendering to what can be. Part of manifestation is that we can control what we want to experience. However, it might not happen how we expect. Most often it doesn't. We don't have any control over how it happens. So there's a very balanced process of acceptance and surrender, accepting what is and surrendering without knowing and clinging to the outcome. Because if you're clinging to the outcome and you're attached to a specific possibility and that's all you want, that's creating resistance. That's saying it needs to happen this way or else I don't want it. So, from recognizing what the resistance is, we then release the resistance. There's the image of the butterfly showing the transformation. The transformation where before there was blocked energy, it's now been released and the energy can flow throughly. The possibility, we're not restricting or limiting possibility. And eventually, the final phase of the manifestation process is recognition of the manifestation. It's here, it's in front of you. You have the evidence of how you feel. Okay. So I'll go over I have one more slide about when manifestation goes wrong, and then we'll jump into the abundance now frequency activation, which is about 10 minutes. So just if you have to jump off, it's totally fine. You can always catch it on the recording. I'll try and go through this last slide. It might be a little bit past the hour, but I'll try and go through it quickly. But this is pretty important because a lot of times in the manifestation process, Something that can happen that's very difficult is we get too caught up in looking for the evidence before it's come. So if you're looking for the evidence before it's arrived, what happens is you switch from being in the high vibration, abundance and ease, and acceptance and surrender to lack. I don't have it yet. Why isn't it here? Why hasn't it happened yet? Is there something wrong with me? Am I manifesting wrong? I don't understand. I'm looking for it. What does that do? It's taking you out of the vibration of, I already have it. It's coming to me. I believe it. I have the frequency, and I don't need the experience to still feel good. The moment that you can feel good without the manifestation occurring is often when the manifestation will happen for you. And it's okay that it takes time to do that. A beautiful part of manifestation and learning to become more present with our experience is letting go of judgment, letting go of expectation. So often, if manifestation isn't working, step one, it's that recognizing and looking for the resistance. The subconscious is broadcasting a stronger conflicting frequency that says, I can't have this. So the first possibility for manifestation going wrong is misalignment. You've got subconscious blocks, stuck energy, and limiting belief. And it doesn't work to try and force it. Positive thinking by itself doesn't do the trick. Affirmations, positive affirmations, will only work as statements of something that you know to be true. So you work with uh, the action, the solution to misalignment is to become conscious and presence with your experience and figure out what's happening. You could also work with someone that works with the subconscious mind, but bringing presence to these parts of you that are looking for love is healing in itself. Just having that awareness, having the presence, having the acceptance, and bringing loving, unconditional regard to yourself will help to dissolve those blocks. And then the second thing that might happen with manifestation going wrong is manifesting from a point of lack or need, which is I want, I need. So if you're thinking, I want more money, the universe is saying, I want more money. That's what you want. You want to want more money. The most powerful statement in the universe is I am. So manifesting from a place of abundance is to already embody yourself as having it, to already have those feelings. I am abundant. I am grateful. I am making money in ways that I didn't expect, and it's coming from multiple streams of income. And I'm so grateful and happy now that I get to keep it all. The other way to manifest from a place of lack or need is when you're thinking, I don't want. I don't want to be sick anymore. I want to get rid of this. Then your focus is on the problem. That's where you're putting your energy and your focus to. And then the third thing that could happen with manifestation going wrong, we talked about a little bit, is looking for evidence before it's arrived or being attached to an outcome. Well, I'd like to have a career that feels really meaningful and I can have a supportive income and I can feel like part of a team. And it's this job. I just applied for the job. I've got the interview and this is it. If I don't get this job, then this is my dream job. There's nothing else out there for me. Well, it's possible that in interviewing for your dream job and not getting your dream job isn't because you weren't worthy of it. It's because there's something even better that you didn't know about yet, and it's still coming towards you. Which brings me to number four of what might happen when manifestation goes wrong, which actually the last 2 points I'll talk about together because they kind of go hand in hand. So one important concept to understand about manifestation is that the purpose of life is to evolve. Our soul is a higher level of consciousness than we're embodying at this time. We can connect with our soul, and our soul is connected to the field of all possibilities. So our soul knows more than we do. And there can be divine timing and soul contracts. Sometimes our soul will choose to experience something, and that also is part of with the world being as a mirror. It might be that our soul, the purpose of life is to grow and to evolve. So it might be that our soul is learning patience It might be that our soul is learning compassion. So some of the experiences that we're having might not be pleasant. They might not be enjoyable. They might be entirely painful or uncomfortable. And that's where it starts to have the balance of, can I accept what is? Can I accept reality without fighting against it and know that whatever this pain or suffering is that it's temporary. It's here to show me something so I can move into alignment with something else to my next stage of growth. So you may have a painful experience that is there for you to learn compassion, to love yourself. It's showing you where those blocks are, where those limited restrictions are. If you're someone who wants to, if your goal is to experience peace no matter what, life's going to throw challenges at you to prove that, to evidence to yourself that you can feel peace no matter what. So that's why it's important with manifestation not to be too focused on how it happens or when it happens, because there might be divine timing at work. It may be that you need to go through this and this experience before having the experience that you want because it's all part of your growth. And it doesn't mean that you're misaligned. It just means to continue having faith and to continue loving yourself and not having any kind of judgment about the experience not happening yet. And then soul contracts are similar. There's certain people that come into our lives because they're there to show us where we're out of misalignment, or that they're there because we have an important lesson for them, or they have an important lesson for us. So I'll give a personal example about manifestation that was really difficult for me. I had a cat and I loved her so much, and she would pee or poo outside of the litter box. And it didn't happen right away. For about 2 years, everything was fine. And then over time, this situation got worse and worse and worse. And I tried absolutely everything possible, both with 3D physical efforting, taking her to 6 different vets, trying different medications, different food, different diet, different litter box, a cat behaviorist, pet psychics, you name it. If someone gave me some kind of advice or a suggestion to try, I tried it. Crate training, everything. And I also tried manifesting by having the feelings, the joy, the happiness. She gets to stay in my life. And over the period of 10 years, things just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I think it's very natural that I felt very defeated by this. And I wondered what was happening? What was I doing wrong? And the answer is that I wasn't doing anything wrong. I had a soul contract with my cat where she was meant to be difficult. It wasn't meant to be an easy relationship. It was a challenge for my soul to see, could I give her unconditional love in this difficult relationship? And ultimately, can I love myself so much that I'm not going to sacrifice my peace for anything? Ultimately, I had to choose my peace over keeping her, and it was a really difficult choice. And I ended up surrendering her to a sanctuary, and it was very painful, and it's taken quite a bit of time to get to a point of acceptance. But over the period of time, I did realize, yeah, there was a lesson there for me. I set what felt like an impossible boundary. I wasn't willing to let someone's behavior that I had no control of, that I couldn't change, affect me to the degree where I wasn't able to be my full self in other places in my life because I didn't have my peace. So, those are all the different ways that manifestation might feel like it's going wrong. And always go back to your own conscious experience of what's happening and communicating with your own intuition. I have a workshop about how to communicate with spirit. Working with the universe is always a really helpful way to understand more about what you're creating and to give you guidance about things that you might be missing. This is exactly what I help my clients with, and I have a special that's going on from now through March on my reality transformation packages. So, my regular price for the reality transformation packages is $800. This is exactly what I help my clients with, and I have a special that's going on from now through March on my reality transformation packages. So the reality transformation package is 5 sessions in which I use all of my training, all of the courses I've taken, my clinical background, Reiki, core transformation, spontaneous transformation technique, NLP, energy healing, and my psychic abilities. We work with your higher self to identify what those limiting blocks are, where you are in alignment, where you're not, to help you achieve that quantum flip so that you can create the life that you want to live. So, an example of a client that I have, she came to me wanting to work on love and relationships. And in the first session, we identified that she didn't believe love was possible for her. She felt that she was cursed. It wasn't in the cards. She didn't think it was something that could happen to her. And by the end of those 5 sessions, she was in an exclusive relationship with someone. So we were able to release a lot of stored trauma and blocks and limitations and give her guidance and support so that she could be in this relationship. So if that's something that you are interested in having assistance with, I also have a promo code. It's freedom that will give you another $100 off. So for 5 sessions, you're paying less than $100 a session. This is really my passion, is helping people to step into their own shoes of being a creator and to move from being reactive to life circumstances to being empowered and living the life that you want to live. So, if you're interested in working with me, you can set up a consultation call or you can schedule your first session for reality transformation. I'm going to move now into the Abundance Now frequency activation meditation. I'm going to share my screen and just take a moment to explain this meditation so that way you're prepared to get the most benefit out of it. So I have another quote from Abraham Hicks because abundance now, you may be setting the intention of manifesting more wealth. So I want you to know that financial abundance is simply the universe's response to consistent thoughts and feelings of abundance. So, in this Abundance Now frequency activation meditation, we're going to listen to these words that talk about the abundance in your life and the universe to show you, to give evidence that the universe is infinite abundance, infinite potential. That's what abundance is, infinite, infinite. There's no end to it, no end, it's unlimited possibilities. So while you're listening to this meditation, you'll be generating the feeling of abundance through gratitude and receptivity. So feel gratitude for the abundance that is, the abundance that you are, the abundance that the universe is. And you can also set an intention of what abundance you want to create. What do you want more of in your life? You can choose. It could be wealth, it could be financial abundance, it could be joy, it could be connection with others, peace, anything that you want to create more of. Think about the feeling of what it is. If it is financial abundance, what feelings does that come with? Is it relief? Is it joy? And so while you're listening to this meditation, I will be guiding you in the frequency activation. So, what is a frequency activation? It's like a tuning fork. It's so much easier for us to learn things when someone else models it first, right? So, I will be connecting to that possibility in the field for all of you and all of your attentions and holding it as that potential as the absolute truth. And as I hold that potential, because we're in a morphic field together, we're all here, we're all co-creating, you're going to want to entrain to that frequency. Your system naturally wants to move towards coherence. So as I hold the coherent signal and the frequency of what's possible for you, your nervous system and subconscious mind is going to match it. It's going to match it. And then you'll know what that feels like. You'll have that blueprint of what it's like to be abundant. This will be a 10-minute frequency activation. Just listen to the meditation, and I will be providing the energetic alignment in the background. So here we go. Relax and close your eyes. Allow the outside world just to fade away into the background. It will still be there waiting for you. Allow yourself to come to this present moment and set the intention to connect with the feeling of abundance. We will explore the abundance that is in your life and the universe, because you, life, and the universe are all connected. You are an aspect of the universe and Source's creation. As you listen to these words, relax, breathe, and allow. Allow for the gratitude of the miracle of your life and the infinite, abundant nature of the universe. Every day, you take more than 20,000 breaths, filling your lungs with life-sustaining oxygen. This happens unconsciously. Your heart beats 100,000 times per day. Within 3 weeks, your heart will have pumped self-generated life force energy more than 2 million times. If you were to unwind your DNA from all the cells in your body and chain the DNA end to end, it would stretch 10 billion miles. That's long enough to stretch from the Earth to Pluto and back twice. This library of infinite potential, this sacred code, is within you. You are this infinite potential. There are 400 billion stars in the Milky Way, hundreds of billions of suns burning bright and creating light, and for every star, there's at least one planet, and that's only in our celestial neighborhood. There are 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe, every galaxy containing a spiral of billions of stars, planets, and moons. There are billions and billions of worlds and realities in this universe. And even greater than all the known worlds, stars, and planets in the known universe, within your body, there are 30 to 40 trillion cells. Each cell is a microscopic, self-sustaining factory, working in perfect order just for you, sustaining your life. And even greater than that, within your brain has between 100 and 1,000 trillion synaptic connections. That's right. The number of connection possibilities in your brain is greater than the number of stars in the Milky Way galaxy, greater than all the number of galaxies in the known universe, greater even than the number of cells in your body. Soak that in. Your power to create your reality is that big, that abundant. And it is second only to the ultimate expression of potentiality, all of the space, all of the quantum waves in the entire universe. There is more space in the universe than is measurable, and this immense volume of nothingness is the source of all potential and possibility. Every tiny, dense particle of matter exists in this infinitely vast, expansive field of pure potential. And the space and possibility within the universe is also within you. The space that allows for the creation of new stars, galaxies, and cells also allows for the creation of possibilities in your life. You are made of this infinite space and potential. You are made of abundance. Feel that truth deeply. Feel this space, the openness that holds the possibility of everything. Stretch out and see, how far does it go? And in this infinite space of potential, what do you want to create? Where everything is limitless, what do you want more of? Is it more health, more wealth, more joy, more connection, more freedom? Whatever it is you want to create, from this space of infinite potential, think of the feeling that comes with the creation. If it's creating more wealth, feel the abundance of the universe, the abundance of all that exists within you. And imagine the freedom that comes with the wealth, the joy, the relief, the peace. Feel that. Soak it in and amplify it. Beginning from the space of your body, amplify that feeling larger than your home, larger than your city, larger than your country, than the world, pushing past the boundaries of space and through the entire universe. You are this feeling. You are this power. Allowing it and feeling it soon will bring the evidence of this feeling to you. It will manifest in your life as possibility. Sit with this feeling. You are so powerful. You are so loved. You are so blessed. Just as you created this feeling in that power, you are also creating your experience. And this feeling that you can create at any time brings the experience to you. Creates more and more experiences, more and more of this feeling. You are this light. You are this vibration. And now imagine this vibration as a brilliant white light. You are connected to the vibration and the frequency of abundance. And now, because you have it, because it is yours, you can send it out. Shine it out to the world. Shine it out to those who need it, to everyone that you love, to everyone in this group, to everyone listening to this meditation. Allow this light to settle in your cells and your nervous system, to empower yourself, to empower everyone. And from this receptive state of allowing and giving and receiving, even more abundance comes through. And as you are sending out this light in pure love, in pure openness, all the blocks, all the barriers, all the limitations and misunderstandings and judgments and concepts about abundance are being removed, so that there are no limitations, no restrictions on the energy or possibilities that can come to you. And take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And begin to come back to your body, to feel your body, the miracle of it. You are this abundance. There's a frequency of abundance raining through your veins now. Feel gratitude for this abundance. You are part of it. It is part of you. It already exists. You have it. You own it. It is yours.